Tariq, as we record, we don't know who they're playing, but the Golden State Warriors have been an interesting test case, especially playing without Durant. How do you perceive them?
As one of the greatest teams of all time, and that's just what they're going to go down as. I mean, 5 finals straight. What's interesting about this team is that they kind of lost their swagger after losing to the Cavs. And they went and got Durant. They won 2 in a row then. And now they're winning without Durant, so it looks like they've got their swagger back, which is very unusual. Usually teams kind of, pull it in too much, destroys their chemistry. But with Durant out and Cousins out, they found themselves again, which is something teams don't normally do. They usually just take the money and run, or there's some problems chemistry-wise. It's a bizarre thing. Makes Steph Curry literally an iconic era basketball player.
Boy, they're so much more fun to watch this way.
They are. And I mean, they shoot the ball well. They communicate team basketball. They don't care who the hero is. And they do a great job of letting all of that stuff lay out on the floor. They never panic like a good clutch team does. They've been down 15. They come back and they win. So, they're going for another chip. I just hope Durant leaves after that.
Carl, I'm one of these guys. I have a tough time justifying it, actually thinking through the thing. But I'm one of those guys who disliked Durant going to that team, moving from Oklahoma City and planting himself. So for me, the desired result here is either to have Golden State win without him or lose with him. I just really feel strongly about that.
I think you're going to find out, because I don't think he'll be back. I really think he is done in Golden State, like you said. Yeah. And it's interesting. One thing, they are not better without Kevin Durant, but they certainly are different without Kevin Durant. Without Durant, the ball moves more. Steph has to do more. And you've seen it since Durant's been out. He's shooting more. He's cutting more without the ball. The ball's moving more. And the unsung hero is Draymond Green, a guy who I particularly don't like, but he seems to have matured. In the last couple of games, you've seen calls where here goes Draymond, and you expect the explosion. Hasn't been there. This guy is a triple-double machine. You talked about the leadership, the vocal leadership. There have been clips of him on the court. He's been great. And again, it's all about Steph, but Draymond has been the MVP of the last series, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do find it interesting. Kevin Durant is doing what everybody does when they leave a job, right? Like, you burn all the sick days you have left and then get the heck out of town.
That's right.
But what I find most interesting about the Warriors is you brought up, you bring in Kevin Durant to get your swagger back. Everyone forgets, you are one suspicious suspension with Draymond Green. They're up 3-1 in that series against the Cavaliers. If Draymond Green doesn't get suspended, they beat the Cavs. LeBron doesn't have his championship in Cleveland. Things are completely different. I think that they would still have gone to 5 championships and won 5 championships had that suspension not happened and Kevin Durant or even DeMarcus Cousins signed. And that's what's so remarkable about this team is when you look at teams built throughout NBA history, there was always a free agent big time that they brought in. Without Kevin Durant, they built this team completely organically. Okay, you have Iguodala coming in as a free agent, but, he had worn out his welcome in Philadelphia, and he wasn't the superstar that everyone thought he was going to be when he came in. They built this team with guys that nobody else wanted, and they're arguably the greatest NBA team in history.
Does anybody else hold it against Durant for signing on that?
I don't hold it against Durant, although there was this big push about we hate super teams. And then we created a super team, and now they're an iconic super team. So we've kind of let that go a little bit of these building of super teams.
We hated when the players put them together.
Yes.
And I go back to the 2008 Celtics, their big three.
Yep.
Well, they had to trade for them. They had to
listen
do
to the
things.
homer.
Yeah.
Hold on. Listen to the homer.
I'm just saying there's a distinct difference of the way those teams were constructed versus the Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors.
But they did want to play together. They did want to, Garnett, he wished he had moved sooner when that team was being put together.
Yeah, but he was reluctant.
He didn't want to. But then we started liking it. We started seeing these teams sort of come together, and somehow because the Warriors play such good basketball, that whole putting the super team together thing sort of went away, and it was kind of like, this is fun to watch. But now what do they need? A rival. They have no rival, and we need to get back to getting a rival. The only team that really wanted to beat them, to me, was the Houston Rockets, and they blew their opportunity.